5, 4, 3, 2, time cut 1.
The slasher's been here.
He needs antimatter. The machine, that's his.
He's from the future.
That just means he's one step ahead of us.
No, he's not. Because I'm from the future, too.
Hello and welcome to the worst movie ever made. An experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Hockman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hassick. Hey guys, how are you? And Rob, especially Rob, why'd you make me do Time Cut?
Because I needed you guys to have the context as to why I thought Y2K was such a great throwback nostalgia movie when compared to this. Because I saw these movies around the same time. All right. So you got to realize, jumping out of Time Cut and going straight to Y2K, you're like, holy shit, this is a masterpiece. And I still stand by that because comparatively, when you go by what films are trying to accomplish, I think Y2K hit that goal to some degree. And this movie, I'll wait till Bob gets to his production, but it misses every single mark, even the skid marks. Bob, how are you?
Truly does.
Yeah, doing okay. Through our research, apparently this and another movie called, it doesn't matter what it's called, but it's like the same exact premise, almost. Like someone goes back in time to prevent a murder that happened.
It was in the YouTube comments. I forget the title, but like this was shot before it, but came out after or something. Yeah.
But they were probably pitched at the same time, and yeah. And everyone said the other one's way better, which I believe.
That's what I've also been hearing. So
yeah, it has to be.
If it's orders of magnitude better, maybe we'll make that a good movie. We'll see. I don't know. It's a couple weeks away. We'll see.
Well, I have poetry in the form of alliteration and limerick coming at you.
All right, so let's get to the best explanation.
Hey, Bob, what are you doing over there? You know, it's time to explain the movie, right? You got to give us the best explanation. Bob?
Okay.
I just realized that I wrote the alliteration and was so happy with it, I forgot to write the summary. So I'll just ad-lib that part.
All right.
Okay, so first part. Because it is Time Cut, I went with the T theme. Trade-in teenager. Time travels to tiny town's traumatic timeline of teen termination to tamper with today, trying to tweak timetables to turn around tomorrow.
Wow.
It was a twister at the end there.
Trade-in teenager time travels to tiny town's traumatic timeline of teen termination to tamper with today, trying to tweak timetables to turn around tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm especially proud of Trade-in Teenager. That's a reference back to our last movie.
Recurring theme. Yeah, I was going to say second child replacement in 2 movies. See if we can keep it going with a talking cat. Just kidding. I don't know what wins the poll. Okay. All right, let's hear your summary anyway.
Oh yes. Okay. So speaking of summary, Summer is a teenage girl. Who is very upset because her friends were just killed by a serial killer. But somehow she gets herself out of bed and like gets completely done up and goes to this big rager. And at the rager, she's in the bathroom when everyone else is being shooed out by the cops. So by the time she comes out, she's murdered by the serial killer. And then we fast forward to 2023, I think it was.
Yeah, 24. It came out in 24, but yeah, present day.
It came out in 24, but yeah. There's this thing. There's a story behind that too, but not very interesting. And she's overprotected by her parents, and the very tropey teenage angst kind of thing. And she gets shot back in time to the days before the serial killer, and feels like I should stop it, but then this nerdy kid says she shouldn't stop it, and there's all like a few characters that come into play and they kind of carry the movie the rest of the way through. It's not worth spoiling because if you got this far through and want to see it still, you're gonna go see it.
Yeah.
True.
I don't think I can say anything else to deter you, but that's. It doesn't really go anywhere. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
It ends where it started.
It starts with like Terminator rules, and then like it gets into Time Cop rules. You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's actually
All right.
perfect. Why don't we throw it to your best YouTube comment, Rob?
Sure.
Your brains will be squirting out in your ears.
YouTube. I really loved this movie. It took me back to the 2000s when I was still in high school, and the songs they used really brought back that early 2000s vibe. It was so fun and chill, not overly dramatic. The fashion from back then was so different. I got emotional when I heard So Yesterday by Hilary Duff and All You Wanted by Michelle Branch. This movie was amazing. It just felt too short though. I'm probably just used to watching series.
Rob wrote that.
I didn't.
Oh, shit.
I didn't.
Fuck. It really did.
Someone
sound
out there with an internet connection is
naming-
driving a car.
Naming two specific early 2000 songs is such a you move, though.
There, you know what? Following with like, the LinkedIn doom speaking about like generative AI, there were like 4 M dashes in that. So that may have been just somebody who was too stupid to articulate their own feelings, asking Chat GPT to craft a perfect YouTube comment. But I did not write that, and neither did my Chat GPT.
Oh, okay, that could have been a loophole there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's start to test number 1, 8th at a pitch.
Sure. And I think it's Bob, me, you, Chris, right?
We're not cable guys. We're linemen.
I told you I'm a lineman now. A lineman's the you want around if you feel like the world's coming to an end. I told you I'm a lineman now.
So you're a lineman.
For being a lineman. For being a lineman.
It's not some boy.
Well, then what is he?
He's a lineman. So you're a lineman. Like you.
Ain't that a paid camera?
Okay.
I will start, and I will win. Here we go. There once was a girl named Summer, a teen, who Quinn wanted to smother with his cream. Forward, back, time travel plans. The cameraman focused on plenty of trouser hams. Turns out Summer was playing for the other team.
Damn.
That's good. That's gonna be hard to contend with.
Yeah, that beats mine for sure. He knows how to get us, Rob.
Yeah.
What did you call him? Trouser ham?
Trouser
hams.
Let me just.
Dude, the cameraman was ass cameraman. Like there was like one guy. There was a wide shot cameraman and one just focused on asses the whole movie.
Yeah, that's true. Lucy needs to prevent the death of her older sister Summer, who was murdered by the Sweetly Slasher. What a bummer. The space-time continuum fits in this in ways that keep the breadsticks limitless. You're right to be suspicious about Quinn because he wants to hump her.
Yeah, I mean, same
I
message.
should have known the breadsticks would make it in.
Yeah. Rob was very
It bothered me more than it should, and it will continue to do so.
Yeah, it bothered me too.
It was
but for
really,
different reasons.
it was really forceful product placement.
Yeah,
It was. We'll get into other product placement issues in a little bit, like very soon, actually. I think I'm going to get Rob, if not Bob, with one of my. I want to say alliterations, but it maybe not. Okay. Anyway, here's my pitch, and I'm not proud of it. Once there was a poor man's Zendaya. Yeah,
Zendaya.
Who lived her timeline as a social pariah. Her sister got murked by a time-traveling jerk who cooks up junk science jambalaya.
Well, I like that.
That's pretty good. I'm gonna go Bob 5 though, just because the
Yeah.
Let me
Bob
check the
5,
notes.
Trouser
Let me
hams.
read back trouser hams. Yes,
He knows.
Read back the minute.
He knows how to. He knows how to.
Well,
Get it.
the thing I was most proud of was I rhymed summer a teen, smother with cream, plays for the other team.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
A 2-word rhyme is impressive for me.
Yeah, I'm a fan. So Bob 5.
Bob 5. I agree. Bob, who are you voting for?
Myself.
All right,
5.
cool.
5.
Yeah, may as well. Otherwise, you're just gonna weigh down your own dynasty. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Take a note from me. Test number 2, the most offensive.
Testosterone, man boobs.
You know, for once on this podcast, it actually kind of felt good to give somebody else the win.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not just looks. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have faces for radio. Let's just be
or for
honest here.
smothering with cream.
Yes.
Depends. Let's talk about number
5. I am proud of that.
Leaving out local law enforcement, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do
Were they
it.
inept?
I'll go back and save my sister. Why don't you just call them and be like, hey, a murder is happening?
Hey, a time traveling. Yeah. I guess I could have just left out the time travel part and just be like, hey, someone.
Yeah.
I know who this Wheatley slasher is. Or I know where they are going to be. Yeah.
I am murdering someone right now at this barn.
Yeah.
Stop me. Try to stop me,
I'm trying to suicide by cop before it's too late. I am wearing something.
Yeah, I'm wearing a mannequin mask. And a hood.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. Why not do that instead of like... Well, we'll get into what they do instead.
Right.
Very confusing.
Uh-huh.
How about number
4?
All right, Rob, you already said it, but Millennium Member Berry nostalgia mining.
Oh,
yeah.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
It really is. She the most egregious part, in my opinion, was when she walks into Summer's room and she presses play on the CD player that everybody had back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's like doodle doodle doo doodle 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 doodle.
Yeah.
Because like apparently that's the first song on that CD where it's that chick who does that song.
Yeah.
And she had it queued up. It was like the perfect 2004 song.
You know what's even worse? It's not even a good kind of nostalgia mining because I'm going to draw a comparison to Y2K, and I apologize if I do this a lot because it's not intentional. At Y2K, at least, it covered like what the goths were into, what the rap kids were into, what the punks were into. It had like a spectrum of nostalgia, whereas this was just like the upper middle class top 40 version of it. So it was just like
lazy.
It's just like, all right, these are kids that live in one neighborhood and what they experience, but like not anything their peers or anybody ran into, which would have lent itself to better nostalgia fodder. Like, I have nothing wrong with nostalgia, but I felt like it was very narrow scope of nostalgia.
Very lazy.
Yeah.
I think. Number
3.
Fucking over future father by disappearing his other daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so mom included. It just didn't work with the scheme as well. So this girl goes back in time to save her sister. Successfully does so.
Yeah.
Everyone. Even gets another security guard killed who wouldn't have been if she didn't go back.
Yeah.
But, you know, he was just some dumb Paul Blart character. So, like, who really cares that he died, even if he had kids? And, you know, we're not supposed to feel bad about that.
Yeah.
But the really fucked up part is that when she successfully saves her sister, she decides she wants to live in the here and now, which is 2004. Instead of going back to her parents in the timeline where they have already lost a daughter.
Yeah, but they had a throwaway line where like she went and like checked her parents out after.
And they knew they were, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't know who she was, and they are happier with their gold medal. But if you want to hear an episode of Paul Blart Mall Cop with a happy ending, you can go to www.theworstmovieevermade.com. I had to get a plug in there on the early end.
You could. Okay, well, that decimates my point. So let's start the number.
Yeah, that was bad on your part. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, giving the movie too much credit. You gave the movie due credit, apparently. But it's too much, in my opinion.
Okay.
Number 2, Butterfingering her time box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it did. You know what? Let's not play with chocolate and time machines.
Yeah.
They're like having a high five and a Butterfinger that they're choosing over while discussing what that canister might contain, which is either like uranium or antimatter, and they're just tossing it around.
And then he had like, it wasn't
Did you
even that
see
there
the
were-
stash?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there weren't even Butterfingers laying around. He had like the gas station, like at the counter, like box of
Yes.
Butterfingers.
It like only fits Butterfingers, like the exact dimensions.
Right, and there happened to only be 2 missing. He just got it.
Yeah, he
There
just
were so
re-upped.
many in
there.
He just re-upped his butt things. Yeah.
That should have been a red flag for her. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, for real. What is this guy? What is he going to be, a serial killer? All right, let's do it to our second clip of the day. This is our number 1 most offensive. Number Daddy. This is relatable.
Lucy? You didn't. Why not?
I wanted to, but I realized that if she lives, then I'll never be born.
So, you're just gonna let her get killed?
Did you hear me? If she lives, then I'm gone.
Lucy, I can't just let her die.
I can let you die.
I can't.
So you're in love with her?
This isn't about me.
Yes.
This is complicated.
No, literally was. I would rather let my sister be stabbed to death, dying alone in agony,
Yeah.
than to chance disappearing. Because we don't know how this goes. Apparently that's not the case.
Yeah.
Because Quinn tells Quinn, was his name Quinn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Quinn, right?
There's
He's
two
like-
Quinns. Too many Quinns.
Yeah. Too many Quinns. But Quinn like holds a razor blade up to his neck and he's like, if I die, then you never exist, right? And he's like, no,
It doesn't
you'll
work that
learn.
way.
You'll learn time travel doesn't work that way. It's like, okay. Well,
So
can
now
you,
they're going
can you
in-
tell us how it works in this movie?
Now they're going into Donnie Darko rules with like the tangent universes that like coexist. Right?
Well, that's what. That's why I figured that it was possible that her parents still exist on a different timeline.
Yeah, so to your point, so like now they're suffering from the loss of a daughter and the who's
complete
murdered.
disappearance of another.
So in theory there is one timeline where both their daughters are dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even worse, they don't even have closure on the death of their second daughter.
Yeah.
They're still
but,
looking.
Yeah, she
they're
just
still
vanished.
They're still out in the woods with a rake.
And they only know how to go to they only know how to go to the barn where their first daughter was murdered and the Olive Garden where they gave up on cooking. After the fact, they're just like looking over their menus. If she'll show up. I know she likes the cheesecake with extra strawberries, and they just leave it out on the windowsill.
I don't know. I thought that was offensive, so that's why I had it. Let's throw it to your ad read.
I've got an honorable mention, and it's Eclipse. So can I do that right now?
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something that I need to tell you about your future.
Hey there.
Hey,
Summer.
Dolores.
Let me guess. Chicken alfredo cheesecake with extra strawberries?
Yes. Will you please tell me they have never-ending breadsticks in 2003?
Duh.
Make that 2 of each, please.
You got it.
In front of Dolores, like she doesn't bat an eyelash when this girl she's never seen before says, "Please tell me in 2003." Like that's a regular thing for a kid to say.
Yeah, right. So there's literally no like fake Italian music in English words in the background or hustle and bustle of anyone else in the restaurant. It's like the most low production Olive Garden plug that you could have had.
Yeah.
It definitely was not in a real restaurant.
No, it was like in a kitchen.
Olive Garden must have signed off.
Yeah, because when on the first visit she pulls the menus away and you see 2 logos.
You see Olive Garden.
I guess I'm guessing they paid for that spot, right?
I'm guessing it's the only reason. Olive Garden and Butterfingers are the only reason this movie got funded. I think.
I feel like there was something else too. I feel like there was one more.
Yeah,
there was another one. Yeah,
that could be conflating movies too.
Yeah,
audience.
I don't remember.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. I feel like there was a neon sign in the back that was for like Coors or something. But
Probably.
that could have been
in like the barn party.
What was the fucking movie we did with Sylvester Stallone? Where he's the
Over the top
cop. And, like,
no, we're talking about the one
not
with
Scorpion, but
Cobra.
The one with the pizza.
Cobra.
And the, Cobra with the pizza and the
Cobra.
scissors. Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, right. Scissoring his pizza.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had so many like over at Coors commercials and that. Maybe I'm just conflating the two.
Yeah.
My timelines are getting screwed up here.
Yeah.
Let's start with number 3. This is the worst dialogue. Oh wait, no.
No. Not time for the ad read.
Time for the ad.
Well. Just what are you pretty little
listeners
doing out here with no
3 a.m. hot dogs
and to keep you company?
Today's episode is brought to you by Hot Dogs at 3 a.m., the questionable meat choice for your questionable decisions. You're not here for answers. You're here because your fridge is empty, your soul is noisy, and the street light outside your window won't stop flickering like it knows something that you don't. Slide one of these grease-slicked tubes into your mouth and pretend the silence doesn't bother you. Hell, it's better than the cocked and loaded gun on the motel nightstand right next to you. No condiments, no regrets. Just you, the void, and a lukewarm promise that you're still alive enough to crave something. Hot Dogs at 3 a.m. Because the night doesn't judge, and neither do we. Heat, eat, forget, repeat. That's the show.
Rob?
Yeah?
I'm glad you're here with us, safe and sound. Please come back every week. We love you.
Yeah, I will. No, we're good.
Okay, let's draw to test number 3, the worst dialogue. You okay?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Fine. Everything's fine.
Low testosterone. Man boobs.
Those are the things they bring up when they can't think of anything else to say because it's bad dialogue, and this is the worst dialogue.
Here we go.
Number
5.
Hey, you know what? I told you about the jambalaya. We're going to get a lot of it. This is Ripples.
Please don't use my computer to illegally download music.
What?
Are you a student here?
Yeah. Well, I will be. I have a question.
Shoot.
What are your thoughts on time travel? Hypothetically speaking, for a paper that I'm writing.
We're all time travelers. Scooting along at the stellar pace of 1 second per second.
I'm sorry.
If only we could pop back to the moment before you dropped that jar, Quinn.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. Quinn here's a physics genius.
Yeah, it's just... Traveling into the past is a horrible idea, because you could create a paradox or multiple paradoxes. You know, you could create a ripple effect that could be devastating.
Okay, go to lunch, both of you.
She never mentioned going back into the past. He just like brought that up willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Which is infuriating. But also, that is like the most surface level, like, I smoked pot in 7th grade, and that's the level of conversation I would have had. Not on my. I'm like a graduating physics genius from like a high school level.
Yeah.
Conversation. That is like your introductory conversation into the subject.
That's like the why are they called fingers when they don't fing line of thinking.
Right. Yeah. Which I'm surprised they didn't say in this Butterfinger movie. Let's draw to number
4.
This is Ready for War.
Oh, this pissed me off.
Sorry, what happened to World War III?
I could be wrong.
Or we could alter the future and then, we all die. We're not altering the future.
No.
We're just giving it a little makeover.
Makeover.
A makeover. Yeah, like in She's All That.
Yes.
I don't remember that movie ending in the destruction of the space-time continuum.
I will not let Emmy get killed. What kind of person just stands back and lets something like that happen?
How are we doing this?
All right. How fucking lame was that? Why did they feel the need to do that?
Because the getting dressed in like the juicy sweatsuit montage wasn't campy enough.
Well, that was a little more generic than like that movie She's All That came out 1 year ago from this movie. Like, it's just,
Right. Yeah, only I
that
don't
is
remember
such
it ruining
that's
the
such a
season.
lazy nostalgia. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I thought that was.
And then
that was the
they
worst part of
walk
that
out
movie.
side by side like badasses in slow motion with like
with
a
what
crowbar,
a tire
a
iron,
bat, and like
and
a wrench. Yeah. Like they were locked and loaded and ready for war. And then they don't do anything with it. It's not even like they were prepared.
Yeah.
You know, normally when you have like a segment like that, at least they're going in like ready to fight. And
like,
they don't.
They've had their buttons pushed too many times up to this point, and like they're not fucking around anymore.
Like we're gonna have to fight him.
Yeah.
It's kill or be killed. And then they're like,
Yeah.
run away! Run away! You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in my catch.
Number.
I'll scratch it.
3. This is really cool.
So, you, Val, and Brian have been friends for a long time, huh?
How do you know that?
Instagram. Facebook.
MySpace.
Friendster. I think Quinn told me.
I think it was really cool how you stood up to Ethan and Brian earlier. I could never do that.
Yes, you could. They're dicks.
I mean, they're harmless. They're my best friends.
Harmless dicks.
Ugh, I really wish we could go to the mall right now. You could meet them.
What do you think? Leopard? Zebra?
Either one will look good on my floor.
Behave.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Those are her best friends. They're not in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Does he do this every
That's
weekend?
what he wants.
That guy?
Yeah.
No, I know. Every time they go clothes shopping together, she's like, "We can go clothes shopping." He's like, "Can I make some comment about your tits?" Yes. Okay, cool. Let's go. All right, let's throw it to number
2. Number 2, yeah.
Man, MySpace. All right, Roomba.
What is this?
It's my phone.
You call people on this?
I don't really call people, but it's my flashlight, it's my alarm clock, it's my music, it's my TV, it's everything.
You're from the future.
Yeah, look, if you want to unlock it, Face ID. Try to unlock it. See?
You see that?
$1 million.
It's supposed to be like $1 million.
Emmy, wait. What? Look, I'm sorry, okay?
This is insane.
I can fix it.
This-
Don't touch me, Summers.
This is not a phone. This is like a miniature pocket computer. I don't see any way you could call someone on this thing.
That's the overt advertisement.
Wait, hold on. I have like a million more questions. Okay, is Arnold Schwarzenegger president?
It gets a lot worse.
Is Paris Hilton still hot?
That's your second question.
I'm just curious. Do we have robot pets?
We have a Roomba. It's like a robot vacuum cleaner.
Quinn.
Man, it wasn't until 2010 that you can make phone calls with your. No, that can't be right.
No, that's right.
What, with an iPhone?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah.
2010, no shit. Okay, well, anyway, I looked up when the iPod came out, and it was November 10th, 2001. So they had already had iPod for 3 years, and this is the most alien device he's ever seen in his life.
Yeah. Was it the old iPod with the wheel, or?
Yeah, the iPod Classic came out like...
Yeah, it would have
been. Yeah. Yeah, I think that
November
sounds about right.
10th, 2001 was the first iPod. So where was it in 2004? It had to have had different iterations. It had to have progressed. And it's by the same company, and this dude is shocked.
And he's a physics genius, so he should like be
and he's
have
a
his
physics
finger on the
genius,
pulse with that stuff. I know physics and tech and like geek tech or like phones, they're not overlapping one for one, but he's the type of person that would be interested in that type of technology. You would have reason to believe.
But so he's an idiot, number one. Number two, it also had that overt, iPod, iPad, iPhone advertisement that we hate. But also, then just like that, She's All That movie reference that you said, Bob, he says is Paris Hilton still hot, which is another way to lazily remember where we are. Remember where we are in time. That's where we are. Remember how that was funny? Wasn't that funny? All right. Anyway, this was the one that pissed me off the most. I'm sorry if it wasn't the one that pissed you guys off the most, but it is outrageously stupid. Here's number
1, Daddy.
You know what? Fuck it.
Listen, I'm not saying that I'm a physics genius or that I'm even an English teacher like Bob. Like I cannot teach anybody anything. But I'm going to tell you why this is so stupid in a minute. This is rubidium.
Mm-hmm. Fire particle A into particle B.
Okay, well, we know particle A is the laser beam, but particle B,
what?
I don't know.
It says here rubidium. Antimatter.
Right, yeah. Like quantum entanglement. Matter. If we had two entangled particles on either end of the machine, then we could connect them.
Yeah.
Kind of like opening a microscopic wormhole, which you could travel through. So this canister from Sonar must have had enough antimatter in it for it to, create a singularity big enough for you to travel through. So that's what we need. We need more antimatter.
That was terrible.
That was absolute horseshit from the jump.
Yeah.
The particle we know that. We know that particle A is the laser beam.
Yeah.
Is laser beam a particle that I'm unaware of?
I don't think so. It was a light, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's emitting particles, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know what it's emitting. Something tangible and physical, but if we are entangled, if we have two particles entangled on either end because of quantum mechanics or whatever the fuck he says, quantum energy, you have antimatter on one side and matter on the other side. You can make a small wormhole. So if you have enough antimatter, you can make a big enough wormhole to travel through, right?
Yeah.
Well, do you have that? Do you have that? Or are you sure? Are you sure there's matter that is entangled with your antimatter on the other side?
Yes.
How do you know that? How have you reached this conclusion? I'd like to know. I'd like to know how laser beam and rubidium equals time travel.
Yeah, they left a lot of blanks unfilled.
They said the magic word, and that is quantum. And when you say that, then idiots are like, well, they must be smart because they said quantum.
Yeah.
So that's where my brain checks out.
Just to fact check, lasers are made of particles called photons, which is particles of light.
I did say there's particles in the laser beam, but laser beam is not a particle.
Yes.
Particle A is not laser beam.
Yeah,
because
particles
because I'm made of atoms. I'm not atoms.
Are photons.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll stop rambling. Well, that's the end of the jambalaya for this round. Let's throw it to Bob with test number 4. This is the worst production.
Oh, it's him. Oh, God, it's him. It's
production. All right.
Okay, worst production. You guys already know my worst production, so I'm just going to say it nice and slow for the audience and then re-explain. Genre-defying, but not the good kind.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not a comedy, not a horror, not a slasher, not a thriller, not suspense, not drama, not artistic, not family, not porn. So then, what exactly is it?
Sci-fi either. Yeah.
It was nostalgia for the sake of nostalgia, not for the sake of driving the narrative.
Yeah.
Meaning they were trying to basically link pop culture references with a loosely logical story, and they really had to like make it work. Anyway, yet time travel was over-explained to the point of making the movie drag on. Like, no time travel movie I've ever seen that I've enjoyed over-explains how it works, and that's all they
poorly.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, very poorly. Yeah. I mean, maybe they needed the runtime to be longer, and they just added in a bunch of extra references. I don't know. Either way, it can be best summed up by there was a writer at The Guardian, and here's what he said: a glancing blow of a snoozy slasher, far more interested in being a 2000s rewound comedy, meeting somewhere in the unenthusiastic middle.
Yep.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I loved it. When I read that, I'm like, that's how I couldn't put into words, you know?
Yeah.
I want to say his name is like Todd or something. Scott, that writer.
What, the Guardian guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
It probably said, but I didn't. Sorry.
It's Todd Phillips.
Short and sweet.
Todd Phillips.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to test number 5. This is the worst acting.
Well, well, well. Just what are you pretty little things doing out here with no man to keep you company?
Oof. That's some really bad acting. It fits right in with the worst acting.
Number
1.
Rude.
Do I know you? You look really familiar.
I know, I just have one of those faces.
No. Hang on, it'll come to me. Camp Deerkill, 3 years ago?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. Yeah, you were the girl that peed in the pool and then denied it.
What the fuck?
Excuse me. It was nice meeting you.
Lucy.
Lucy. That's my middle name.
Oh. A little reveal. The pee drinker from Y2K. Similar thing. I guess teenagers around this time are really into pee stuff.
And also like saying it to your face in public.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that she's pretty sure that's not the girl that peed in the pool. Because that definitely didn't happen, so she's just being a mean girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like saying this in front of Quinn.
There's not a single case made for like why this girl shouldn't have just gotten murdered.
Yeah, honestly.
Like she's an academic disappointment. She's mean to her parents, who like cook with her every night and like are trying to get her on the straight and narrow.
She's a lesbian.
She's like her friends are bullies. She's a fucking bitch. She's a dumb Olive Garden shopping bitch.
Yeah.
Did you mention the flirting with the guy for homework?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does do that.
She leads Quinn on so bad that he goes onto a tangent timeline with rubidium to murder her at a barn.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. That's how bad she is.
I'm wondering what the fuck I'm hearing, because like I'm hearing shouting, and it sounds like a man in the distance. Maybe I'm about to have a stroke or something.
Have you taken Benadryl recently?
Downstairs.
Yeah.
No, just a lot of beer.
All right. I don't know.
Maybe it's something on TV.
Yeah, I think it's on TV. I hope it's on TV. If my son is yelling like that, I'm actually terrified.
2. Father.
This is related.
I'm your sister. I just haven't been born yet.
What?
I'm from the future.
You're from the future.
Future. I can prove it.
Here's an iPhone.
In 20 years, I find this letter from Ethan under your floorboard.
It's in my parents' shrine for you.
I've never seen this before.
You don't have to believe me, but why would I make this up?
Instead of having a den or a game room, they have an untouched bedroom as a monument to their failure as parents.
It's a garden rake, and they have some of your hair attached to the top of it. She's like, I've never seen this before. I'm like, then why is it compelling at all? And then Lucy is like, you don't have to believe me, and like starts to walk off, and she's like, why did I make this up? It's like, that's what people say when they're lying, though.
Every line in this movie, if you just like read it back in like the Team America voice, like he's from the future. It's like, oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, I'm from the future too. And then, like, the mind, you know what I mean? It's kind of funny through that lens.
That is.
Well, I'm from the future.
Oh my
too.
god. God, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, please remake this movie with puppets.
Yeah,
that'd be fucking amazing. Number.
Is it 3?
3. This is right.
Remember, I wrote you a letter? I spilled my guts. And you told me that you could never love us like that. Because you are pathetic! Yeah, I wanted to escape. So I made a plan. Kill Summer, kill all of her closest friends, and then I would just disappear through time.
Just because I rejected you doesn't mean you get to murder me.
Hey. If I die, you die, right? You'll learn that's not how time travel works.
Yeah. Miley Cyrus.
You know something you didn't plan for when you murdered Summer? You created me. Get her.
You created me.
No, he didn't.
No. He didn't bone her mom. He can't even bone Summer.
And that's true. Yeah, so he's like, "'Cause you're pathetic," yelling at himself from the past.
Yeah.
Like she's just not into dudes, bro. Like,
yeah, that's the best part of it all. It's like his bullying wasn't that you were thrown into a lake with your clothes on. Yeah, it's not like you had an iPhone in your pocket because those don't exist yet. So it's not like anything. There's like no real collateral damage other than your khakis and your polo shirt.
Right. So which is it? Was he or was he not thrown into the river? There must have been two different timelines.
That's the thing. In the original timeline, he was, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then she goes back and says it, which means it never happened.
It's a different parallel, I guess.
Yeah.
Plain.
So there's an infinite number of times. So we have no idea which Quinn this is.
Yeah. But
because it could have been Quinn number 71 who did get thrown in the river and became a murdering psychopath. But there's a million Quinns. It just so happens that he's the one that was the super genius that found a way to make
on the timelines we saw. He wasn't bullied that bad. 1 and 2. The unrequited love angle is like completely irrelevant because if enough time had passed, he would have known that she wasn't into guys anyway. So like, unrequited love like hurts, but it's a lot more relieving when you realize it's just because you're not gay.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's like she never would have loved you no matter what because she's not wired that way. So like it might sting a little bit, but she's a lesbian and you're a guy. The end.
Yeah.
Right.
Move on.
That's
chasing
where
Amy
it
bullshit.
ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've all had that one, you know.
Yeah. While we're here, just because we're on on the Quinn rage, I'm just gonna get the abuser out of the way really quick because it's fucking awesome.
What's going on?
I love that. He shuts the door, he locks it, he's like, "What's going on? What's going on?"
That's the whole. That should be the whole bumper for if you read viewer mail.
Yeah.
If you ever see viewer mail, that'll be the first bumper for everyone.
All right, Bob, we're throwing it back to you. This is fact or no fact.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something. When Bob hits you with these facts,
Your brains will be squirting out of your ears.
this is fact or no fact.
Hey, fact or no fact is our favorite. Sweeping the nation. The movie was called Timecut, and I just called it Prime Sluts. I was referring to their mom, of course. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, that was some trouser ham.
Damn it. Okay. Dug my own grave. So I'm going to read 5 things, and 4 of them are real, at least as far as my research could say. And one of them's a lie. Here they go. You guys got to figure it out. First one. The movie was delayed because of the SAG-AFTRA strike.
Okay.
Okay, second one. Griffin Gluck, that's who played Quinn, has previously played a time-traveling killer in another show.
Okay.
Okay, third one. The beakers that Quinn knocks over in the introduction, like when he was introduced, were suddenly back on the shelf 2 shots later.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, fourth one. When Lucy and her mother leave Summer's room, the music stopped, but no one ever turned off the CD player.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last one. Quinn's character name was an homage to one of the killers disguised as Ghostface in one of the Scream movies.
Yeah, can you repeat that last one?
Yeah, Quinn's character's name, like the character of Quinn, was an homage to one of the killers who was like, Ghostface in one of the Scream movies.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. You okay, Chris?
Yeah, I'm good. Go ahead.
All right. I know number 4 to be true because I was going to comment on it during the catch-all.
Yeah.
Where it's like the music played, but it was like is it playing in the soundtrack, like in the fiction of the movie, or is it playing in the actual like room that she's in while that's happening? Like it was confusing to me.
Their narrative was that song, but she presses play and it's like Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing. They were like, I can't tell the story this way.
Yeah, that bugged me because it's like, did the mom hear the music and that's what the catalyst was for her seeing who was in her beloved dead daughter's room? But like, that bothered me. And so I know that's true. Delayed because of the strike. This came out in 2024. I would say anything that was delayed because of the strike would have come out in like 2025 because the strike happened actively. It may have been delayed because of COVID or like post-COVID restrictions. I don't think it was delayed from the strike, but let's go through. Griffin Gluck, don't know. I believe the continuity error, and I stopped watching after Scream 4, so I couldn't tell you about that. I'm going to say the movie being delayed because of the strike was the lie, because I think if it was delayed because of the strike, it would have come out not in 2024. They had to have been well underway and finished this movie for it to come out in 2024. Okay, that's me. That's what I got.
I actually, I don't remember, and this might be. I'm just having a moment here of weakness, and I think Bob got me, but I'm gonna go with the beakers knocked off the shelf because I think that Bob knows that we know this just happened in another shitty movie that they didn't bother to correct. I think it was in the Fanatic. Devon Sawa was like smoothie maker was like full of smoothie, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
And since Bob knew that we would like, we both immediately agreed that probably happened in that shitty movie. So I think that he decided to sneak one in here. And like I said, I think he got me. I think this was his grand plan all along. But that's where I'm going.
It's not really. I once again, I really had to like dig around to find anything because it's so new and no one cares about this. And there's like, is there anyone of note in this movie? Like, is anyone recognizable?
No,
I don't think so.
No, I thought so for the first 10 minutes, and then I made it part of my pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes,
Like, wow.
Chris, you're right. You're right. I win. But Rob, it was delayed because of SAG-AFTRA. And also get this, the present year was changed from 2023 to 2024.
Oh.
However, Lucy says it's been 20 years, even though it's been 21 years.
Oh.
Like they
Mr.
they
Pickles.
didn't change.
Poor Mr. Pickles.
Yeah. They didn't change.
All right.
Anyway, that was
21 years in that little cage for that turtle. That sucks.
Yeah.
Griffin Gluck has previously played a time traveling killer in it's a Netflix series called Lock and Key in 2020. The Beakers did show up again 2 shots later. And when Lucy and her mom leave Summer's room, the music stopped, no one turned it off. But when in the past, when Lucy first enters Summer's room, I'm sorry, this is also in the future. When she first walks in to play the CD player, Chris, you're right. She hits the button, but she hits the button for the cassette because that looks like you're pressing something in. Like if you're in a movie and just tap something, that was very intentional, but stupid because how do you not know the difference?
Yeah.
The Quinns character's name, I just completely made that up. I don't know. I must have read that another killer was named after someone who played Ghostface, and that's where I got that from.
Well, that was a good, because there are a number of killers that are Ghostface in Scream.
Yeah, it's different. Well, I mean, it's different in every one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always somebody related or who's been wronged by somebody, or
I think there are multiple. So it's not like there's been 6 Screams and there's been 6 killers. It's been 6 Screams and there's like 9 killers or something.
Yeah.
It's like watching Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it
There's
really is.
One Bane's bad enough, but we have like 7 Banes. Okay.
All right, let's. Good job, Bob. Big episode for you. Happy for you. Sort of the catch.
Some of us don't keep track, Chris.
Yeah. I'm in it for the love of the game.
Get the hell down from there!
Don't worry, I'll catch you. I get satisfaction from making you guys watch movies like Timecut. That's a win. I won. We're all here because of me right now.
I was glad to have seen it for the pod. But every time you guys suggest a horror movie, I'm like, why can't we just do October horror movies? I fucking hate horror movies so much. I never want to do them.
Is that why you're so ardently against 28 Days Later, the best fucking post-apocalyptic movie ever?
No, it's all the rape.
It's only a little bit of rape.
It's enough rape for me to not do it.
Okay. All right.
I want to go back to Rob's excitement for making us watch movies. Is he just sit late at night, like waiting for a text from one of us saying, "This movie sucks," and then Rob's like, "Yes."
I put my phone on like do not disturb, like except for Chris and Bob, just so I can get that ping.
I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
The pings are pinging. My number 5. The initial barnyard chase sequence is obviously parody, only it isn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It really was like Scary Movie 1 running through the yard. Yeah. When like the breast implant gets stabbed.
Yeah, I bet the breast implant on the knife. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked that bad. Like the chase sequence was that horrible and tropey.
Yeah.
I really thought you were throwing me for a loop, Rob, and that it was going to be a comedy movie.
Yeah, no.
And it just wasn't. No, it was that bad.
Okay, so I mentioned this in my explanation. The Summer, right? Her friends just got murdered by a serial killer. Understandably can't sleep. So when she can't sleep, you don't completely get slutted up with your dangly metal belt and go to a party and tell everyone, I don't really want to be here. Like, that's obviously not true. Like, you want to be seen.
Yeah.
And this is that was the part of the movie that was scary the most, because April 2003 was the beginning of my career teaching, and that's exactly how awful. That's exactly how awful they dressed. I was shocked when I saw like 8th grade girls. I'm like, that is whoa.
Yeah,
you know,
not good. How do your parents let you out of the house like that?
I never want to have kids.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
No daughters.
But anyway, yeah.
Well,
it's
lucky for me.
That part was accurate.
Daughters, so.
That's true. You don't have to worry about that.
My number 4. Death by DVD.
Oh yeah,
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that would happen.
If you were born after a certain time, a DVD, those are those round little circles that you put in your TV box to watch cinema.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know.
To watch your sports ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you snap a DVD in half, right? You got the half of the DVD in your hand, and then you go to stab somebody with it. When you hit them with it, it's going to go shooting up the other side of your hand.
Yeah.
Do you know what CDs are made of? Plastic.
Plastic.
Yeah.
So they're not going to fly across the room and go into someone's neck or head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
he snaps in half and then like stabs down, right? And then like kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
it's bullshit.
It's not gonna
Especially
happen.
if the CDs were, it was not going to happen. I'm not going to go any further.
Okay.
Also, CDs don't break into shards; they break in half.
Yeah.
It's not. You're not going to have a point.
Right. Also, just because it's in the same scene, like obviously you see the mannequins in the background, and they're trying to be like, oh, "I caught something. I caught him amongst the mannequins." So, like you already know it's going to be there, so like it's just not.
Yeah.
Oh, and to your point before about how she gets all slutted up, she does go to the bathroom and then reapply makeup. Like she's her cherry lip balm back on.
That's, I think, exactly when it hit me. I'm like, oh, what the? Now she's trying even harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Reapplying, even though she doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
All right. This is, I think you'll both agree, especially in 2003. Nobody was wearing their dorky fast food hat before they got to work and started their shift. He's driving around in his work costume, which wasn't very common either in 2003, and he had the dumb hat on. Yeah.
My first job.
Knockoff.
Yeah. My high school job was working at Dunkin' Donuts, and like the hat and shirt lived in my backseat and or trunk. And then I'd drive to work and I'd bring them both inside to the physical location I worked at, beeline to the bathroom, and then get dressed for work at work.
Yep.
I think a lot of people did that. I don't think I'm like an outlier there,
No, I worked at Baskin Robbins, had to wear the pink shirt and the blue hat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I look good, but not out in public.
And then like once every month you clean out your car and then you do laundry, so you're not wearing the shit you haven't washed for an entire month.
Right.
Yeah.
Baskin and Robbins.
It
was.
Hey, I don't care what you call it. It's delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ice cream, right? My number 3. I don't understand how going to steal antimatter is going to save your sister Summerfield.
I know.
It's going to save
like you have to know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Right, but also she's at the barn party. They just let her go to it, and then they were like, "We're going to go steal antimatter while she's getting murdered to save her."
Yeah.
Couldn't they have been like, "Hey, before going to the party, let's like," the kids don't those kids don't pregame, but like, you know what I mean? Like, get her away from the scene of the, crime.
Yeah,
what happened?
Let's drink some amp energy drink and steal some antimatter.
Remember that shit. Let's have some joke cola at the box social before going to the party.
Right. Why not just tell her not to go to the barn party?
I don't know.
She wants to clam
they
smack
did
with
everything
her
that they
friend.
could.
Yeah.
They did everything that they could to kill her.
Yeah.
And then the way that they save her is by just guessing that the killer was behind a wall and not her sister. And they drive through it and luckily hit him and not her.
That was... Thank you for bringing that up, but also fuck you, because that was to be the one I was going to bring up after you guys.
Oh, shit.
All right. altering the timeline. It can cause a paradox. It can cause World War III. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, the killer's here, potentially with a sickle at a barn. Let's blindly drive our pickup truck through the wall on the off chance they're not exactly on the other side of it. Killing them both.
Hopefully it's just him on the other side of it in this room of this estate.
Yeah.
Because we're just guessing.
Yeah. Like
at this moment.
For people that were that cautious about doing what they're about to do, they were pretty cavalier with a fucking car.
Yeah. I'll say.
Yeah.
And then what was the thing where he was fucking with the clutch and he just like couldn't get it to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, the shifter or the clutch. Yeah. I don't get it.
I have no idea what was happening there. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm gonna put that in the write-up as Quinns Cavalier clutch fucking.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
All right, cool.
Good idea.
We've all done that too.
So I know not everyone applies to this, but in 2003, nobody was on dial-up anymore. No way.
Debatable.
Because I was nobody, and I was on broadband in '99. I just thought 4 years later. How about this? A guy that nerdy and techie. No way he's getting stuff done.
He'd be on DSL at least.
That is totally fair. Yeah.
They had cable. I don't think they had DSL by 2003, but they had cable.
Yeah.
And
he had dial-up.
Yeah, I don't know the exact time, but I recall having friends around that time and like calling their house and like not being able to because they had their fucking
because they only have the one line.
They had like net zero or some shit. You know, they were the net zero family.
Right, Kenny from South Park.
Yeah,
his family. But yeah, so it's to assume that Lucy went through her entire life all the way through high school, not ever hearing one joke about how the dial-up sounded. From somebody like me, also, it's just not believable. She never saw a TV show that referenced it. Nothing. She had no idea what that was. She was like, "Why is he angry?"
Yeah, what did I do? It's angry.
Well, her parents did shelter her, which means maybe they don't let her have unlimited viewing of things.
Like parental codes on their Optimum or whatever.
Right. No movies about dial-up.
Yeah.
My number 2. No one in both timelines ages a single day.
A science teacher looked exactly the same, minus like some gray.
Only his hair was down.
Yeah.
His hair was down when he was younger.
I'll say this to your point. It's one of my later ones, but I'll just scratch it. The parents have a kid, and she lives until 20, which means they gotta be at least 40, but they're definitely older than 40.
Yeah.
Then they have another kid. They'd be fucking 60. They look nothing like 60.
They look the same as they did earlier.
They
in the
gave
movie.
Dad like some salt and pepper hair, and they like made his crow's feet a little more pronounced.
And that's assuming they had the kid at 20. Most people didn't, have kids that young in the 80s and 90s. When that part upset me a lot. And how old was adult Quinn supposed to be? I couldn't figure that out.
Exactly. He had to be 38.
Yeah.
37 at the least. And he looks exactly the same.
Something like
Only
that.
they have a hoodie on him.
Yeah.
And he yells. He must be
He's
older.
thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like a little more jacked, I guess. Like jacked in quotes, like air quotes, yeah.
They probably just like put some like cotton balls in his fucking hoodie though, because like they didn't
less
have him.
He had like less
for just,
cheekbone.
like,
yeah. Or
yeah,
something.
maybe. Just gave him a little filler.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said it earlier. They should have rushed him. They shouldn't have run away. I got that. I agree. As a dumb one, when Lucy sneaks into the house to get the security badge, it's dark outside, but when they're inside and you see out the window, it's daylight and you see a neighbor walking by.
Yeah.
That's just, weird thing.
Bad.
But I already said this is my thing, but the guy does film a lot of asses. And I thought that was seemed very intentional. Like, well, if you don't like this, don't like that, you're definitely gonna like that. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. So all those come to my number 2. So that's that's all I have to say.
what was the movie? It wasn't Hard Ticket to Hawaii. It was the one where all the guys are like, friends forever in harmony.
Miami Connection.
Yeah,
Miami Connection,
like that kind of camera angle. Yeah, where they're just following girls' asses for minutes on end.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the beach.
And
we're
guys...
going to watch this girl who's not consenting to being filmed for like 3 minutes walking down the beach.
Lowering the sunglasses.
Yeah.
All right, my number 1, Daddy. How do they know the killer isn't going to just try again?
I know.
Oh.
That was the thing that fucking bothered me the most. They save Emmy, and then they just bring her home. And they're like,
that was my other thing. That was my other thing. Yeah, they rescue her from like the creepy marina, and then just drop her off at home.
Drop her off at home.
He's not gonna follow her.
That the murderer is never going to try to kill her again.
Yeah.
Because he was thrown at the Marina Museum.
Yeah.
You're just like, all right.
We're on the same wavelength.
We're good.
That's good.
We did it.
Yeah.
That really fucking sucked.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Bob.
All right, this made me upset because even the past was pretty current. You know what I mean? So, and this, don't forget, this is post 9/11 too. So, so what I'm going to say, there's no way you appear in 2003 with no birth certificate, no social security card, no proof of citizenship, and you get an internship at NASA.
Yeah,
because
what the fuck is that?
It was the same
that's a
summer.
Very good point. That also bugged the fuck out of me.
It was the same summer. You know?
Are you using summer as a pun?
I mean, no, I'm saying she appears on the clear blue sky in April.
Yeah.
Like if she appeared in April.
Yeah.
But that's also the same day she received her acceptance into the program in the future. So you would think the deadline would be way before. Sorry.
I'm assuming
she knows how to entangle antimatter and matter to make a wormhole.
I'm assuming her essay at like a 7th grade reading level would explain all that to NASA. Hi, Mr. NASA. You're never going to believe this.
She was like, Mr. NASA, I'm writing a paper. I want you to tell me what you think about time travel. And they were like, you're in.
Yeah,
that's it.
We've got to get her. We couldn't get Jamie Kennedy on the last.
Couldn't get Jamie Kennedy. We had to have her.
Yeah.
All right, let's throw it to. Is that it, Bob? That all you got?
That's it.
Rob, I got one thing. I'm just gonna throw something out there. Directly made by Netflix, Teen Screams. I'm disappointed. The reason I watched this movie in the first place because it was a short write up. I don't like read reviews ahead of things. I just watch them, and it seemed quirky. Like, I thought it was going to be a horror comedy about a girl going back to the past to prevent her sister from being murdered. I'm like, oh, that sounds fun.
Oh yeah.
And I had just watched The Babysitter, which is a Netflix original teen Screams it's fucking amazing. Short version. Kid's in love with his slightly older babysitter. Turns out she's the leader of a satanic cult and needs to collect his blood to it's fun. It's like dumb over the top, but it's like, okay, they threw some money at this. It's like a okay principle, but the younger actors were really good and it was fun. And it's one of those, like, you put your hand over your mouth and go like, oh, that's so fucking stupid. But like, okay, I'm here for it. And like, I went into watching this movie making that assumption.
For that.
Yeah, if you're like seeing some of the teen Scream like younger adult horror films, and you have kids of your own, some of them are pretty good to like maybe in a couple years introduce your kids to the genre. This was not it.
Okay.
Yeah, so just throwing that out.
No, it was not.
Yeah, and the Babysitter sequel was good too because they were just more prophecy stuff and like it was like. Equal parts ridiculous, but like campy and fun.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
maybe I'll check it out. Let's throw it. By the way, to what we're watching.
He's lineman. Told you I'm a lineman now.
Lineman.
We're not cable guys. We're linemen.
He's a lineman, like you.
Like you. Okay, I need to watch something else. This is what we're watching.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
I've been watching. I don't. You guys have probably not heard of him. He's got 37,000 subbies on YouTube, which is not a lot. It's a few more than we have. We're working on it. But he does a lot of like flat Earth debunking and anti-science, anti-medicine. The culture
Antimatter.
Antimatter debunking. Yeah. The culture of people out there that don't want to defer to experts because they think that they know better.
Yeah.
Like that culture there where they don't want to learn anything, but they want to understand everything.
Yeah.
So they turn to people like Joe Rogan to let them tell them, you're just as good as any scientist.
Yeah.
Planet Peterson is another one of those guys that just takes on these characters that are just grifting to make money off of the people who want to pretend they understand everything and don't want to actually take the time to learn it. Which I was probably about 6 years ago. I was like, oh my god, ancient aliens. There was a civilization.
It's fun to think about. It's still fun to think about whether or not you believe it. But yeah, I got you.
Yeah, well, it's not believable, so I don't believe it. But it was fun for a little while, and I was a little younger. I was like, kind of into it, and then I realized it's like all dumb and that I shouldn't. And Planet Peterson is one of those guys that just makes it super clear. His videos are edited well, and he's funny and he's smart, and he's full of knowledge, and he just like debunks flat Earth a lot, which I really like people that take on flat earthers because they just deserve to be smashed into the ground. Sorry to anyone who's listening who is a flat earther, but what are you doing with your life? Like, it's obvious.
Air your grievances by emailing us by going to www.theworstmovieevermade.com and clicking the envelope.
I want to hear why you think there's an ether, even though it was disproven like 100 years.
It'd be so funny. It'd be funny if 100% of our audience were flat earthers, and they all like jumped. They jumped on our Facebook page. Did you hear what he just said?
Somehow, every podcast episode after that gets more listens.
Yeah,
they're gonna talk about flat Earth again. The other one that I watched, it's a movie. I watched. And I watch it from time to time, like every few years, maybe. I don't know. It's probably bad, but I can't see it because it's one of those ones that I saw through the lens of a teenager, and then I just latched onto it because I was like becoming an adult, and something about it just was amazing. Have you guys seen Saving Silverman?
Yeah, I just watched it. It was on Tubi. I just watched it like a couple months ago. It's so
fun.
Good.
Yeah. Well,
even pinching loaves on the front lawn, I play croquet out there.
It's
a great
really
movie.
Good.
It's fun.
Yeah. Jack Black, Jason Briggs. What's his name? The drill sergeant guy that died
from Full Metal Jacket, and he's in the Texas Chainsaw reboots. Yeah.
Arlie or me.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that like looked 40 years old when he was 20, and then continued to look 40 years old until he was like 80.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he just hit a certain age and stayed there.
Like beer was a preservative for his skin or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows? I don't know how it works. But anyway, go ahead, Bob.
I'm just gonna say one thing because I've been. Yeah, go ahead.
And the band of Pete, I said.
Oh, yeah. I watched something called Vicious Fun. I think I told you guys about this one. It's from 2020. It's on Tubi. It's this really stupid and awkward and gullible and extremely lonely horror magazine journalist rooms with a gorgeous girl of his exact age. Okay, they're just roomies. He finds out she's screwing around with some guy that he doesn't trust, so he follows the guy. Turns out the guy is in a support group for serial killers.
Wow.
Okay, that's the premise.
That sounds fun.
Up until that point, like the story like drags. Like up until that exact moment, it's like I hate this this lead. He's just so gullible and stupid. But then like it just like the title says, it gets just fun from that point forward. Once it comes in, it just doesn't stop. Over the top horror, but comedically, it's very comedy driven. But the effects are really high quality, and they're all practical, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
like even though this was an unbelievable, but it was still way more plausible than Face Off. And I'd watch this again, which I wouldn't say about many movies, but I had a lot of fun watching it.
All right.
It reminds me of what was the movie with Nicolas Cage where he's Dracula and it's named for his sidekick? Renfield.
Renfield. Yeah.
Renfield? Yeah.
Yeah.
Same kind of deal, like really gory, over the top comedy horror. That actually was pretty good. Just fun to watch.
But one of my favorite parts of this movie was the guys working in the sheriff's office, how incompetent and inept and stupid they were. They made me laugh. It reminded me of something like On White Is 'Cause You Know.
like the two militia guys from Overboard with Adam Sandler, because they were hilarious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
All right, Rob.
All right. Funny you should mention Joe Rogan, because like I understand the hate he gets for not maybe being super critical of certain
Not
scientists.
bringing experts on the show to debunk the
But-
job grifters he has on his show.
But I do like it when like he has musicians on, and once a year I fall into a Metallica rabbit hole because more archival footage comes out.
Yeah.
And like, according to Jason Newsted, Lars Ulrich not only had the foresight to document like the making of all their albums, but whenever they had like a magazine interview, he'd ask for like 4 copies, one for each member. Then he'd keep all 4 for himself, which is kind of funny. But so I watched the making of the Black Album because it's just 4 huge egos butting heads with Bob Rock, who's another huge ego, and like really being pushed to their limit to make the album that came to be. And honestly, I don't think I've ever listened to. I never listened to it from start to finish. I know the songs on it. I don't know like whatever, but like they really did a lot for engineering and all that shit. And I'm fascinated by this making albums like that. I watched lots of music documentaries and stuff like that. And that led me to a episode of the Joe Rogan podcast, which like I like him for this kind of content in particular, where he's interviewing James Hetfield like right after Hardwired came out. And apparently he's really into beekeeping, and they talked for like an hour and a half about like beekeeping, and it was really fascinating. But
I'm definitely gonna watch that.
So making of the Black Album, James Hetfield talking about bees. That's really all I watched this last week.
The bees.
So I was in high school. We were all in high school.
Won't bring back your precious honey.
When the Black Album came out, we were like finishing our freshman year of high school. But we were huge Metallica fans for all the early albums when they came out, because that was our age.
Yeah.
And when the Black Album came out, we all bought it, and we like the next day we're like, this should be called The Apology. Or the next album should be called The Apology. This is just horrible.
No, you're
we
right.
We all had
a
similar experience with Saint Anger. Yep. We're like
Saint Anger,
watching, like scraping up the milk money, buying the album, and like by track 3, just going like, it's gonna get good, right?
I was literally driving with my friend Kev, who has been a podcast guest before. And we were listening to Saint Anger together, and I popped the CD out of the disc drive and I threw it out my window while I was driving.
Yeah,
because I was so mad about it. So that
3 weeks allowance gone.
That just goes to show.
Fucking
Exactly. Yeah, I worked like 20 hours at a beachside supermarket for that CD. So
yeah.
Because I used
like
to make
walking out of Twister,
89 cents an hour or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, let's throw 2 bad credit names.
Guy Marley, Griffin Gluck, Anders Strom, Lori Dude, Cream Bats, Dino Schiavone, and Andrea Kuntz.
Nice. Is it Kuntz?
It definitely was Kuntz.
All right.
So the way you said that one would make me laugh.
Cream Bats? Because that was a weird.
No, the one before that.
Lori
before
Dude.
Green Bats. Yeah, the way you said it, you're like, Lori Dude. That made it way funnier.
All right, let's throw it to the offensive minigame.
Yeah.
Sometimes things sound offensive.
Hell, training grown tigers naked in a meat suit.
but it's for us to figure out if it is or not with the offensive minigame.
All right.
So, if you've never heard our show before, in this whole episode, you've been wondering why you hear John Travolta muttering during our bumpers. What we do is we take the scenes from movies, the movie that wins the previous season for the worst movie ever made that season, and we turn them into bumpers. So, because I just keep hearing John Travolta in my ears, and I'm like, why do I keep hearing John Travolta talk?
Lineman,
and I know why. Yeah,
lineman,
and I know why. So,
lineman,
like, if you're a
lineman.
first-time listener, there's your explanation.
Yeah.
So that you don't think that we're just batshit insane. All right. So, speaking of John Travolta, this is The Fanatic versus
Timecut.
What is the name of this movie? Timecut. So, nonsensical narrator versus nostalgia mining.
Nostalgia mining.
Nostalgia mining.
Okay.
Nonsensical narrator can make sense, like if they had more of that, and then there were cuts for the theater. You know what I mean? Like, they
could have made it work, but
yeah.
It just pissed me off that they were like, we need something to glue this scene to the scene. Yeah. Only 3 times in the entire movie.
Yeah. From a perspective that had no perspective of those things.
Like literally could not observe the story in the way that they had to narrate.
Yeah.
So, all right, how about Dummy Bar versus fucking Future Father?
Fucking Future Father.
Yeah. Fucking Future Father.
Okay. Butterfingering her time box. Or half-assed autism acting.
Autism acting.
Yeah, autism acting.
Offensive, yeah.
I mean, yes, but butterfingering or time box could have caused a whole collision of the timeline.
Yeah.
Which doesn't matter because there's a million of them, so.
Evidently.
That's an assumption.
All right, so you're right. But still, that is... actually... No, yeah, so that's 2-1 for Timecut. Actually.
Yeah.
All right, let's throw it to the movie comparison and see how the rest of the movie does against our current season champion.
Here we go.
The Fanatic.
Okay. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys. I think it's time to compare the movies and get the hell out of here. We've been through enough.
Your hips cut out because your knees are too close to the pole. Y'all learned that on the first day.
Fuck you. Okay.
It's like if Primus did even more drugs.
Impossible. Yeah.
I don't know. They could have been sober for all I know. The Fanatic versus Timecut. Pitch, Rob. Great pitch with a 4.5 for the Fanatic. However, Bob gave himself a 5, so Bob got a 5 because Bob deserved a 5 for cream and ham. And
I just want to make it look okay for Chris to do it from now on because he's never done that.
No, I haven't, but I appreciate you giving me the out. But your cordon bleu of a pitch won this week, so
yeah.
Offensive, also Timecut. Wow.
Yeah.
Dialogue, what's worse? It's got to be Fanatic for me.
Timecut.
Yeah, I agree. Nah, Fanatic.
All right.
What's worse, production-wise? Not thrilling for the Fanatic, or genre-defining, but not the good kind.
Defying.
Oh, defying. Oh, okay.
I think Timecut. I hated this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I fucking hated this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I did too. I just don't want to hear clips all season next season from this, so I hope it doesn't win. Acting, what was worse?
We still have Talking Cat.
That's true.
I do think acting was worse for Travolta.
I agree.
I agree.
What? Because there's a lot of teenagers or like young adults, and I'm a little more lenient with them.
Honestly, I can see
and they were better.
I can see a certain age liking Timecut.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see the ratings? Like, there's a lot of high ratings for it, like audience scores.
Yeah, the critical was 24, but the audience was order of magnitude higher than that.
Well, look at the state of the world today. Audiences are idiots. because humans are idiots. So I just don't value their opinion. What is the demerit for Timecut? Although if you're in our audience and you like our content, then great job because I value you.
I have a demerit.
Yeah.
There's no final girl. There's two girls, neither of which end up really. Because in the slasher, because like in slashers, there's a final girl. It's like the virgin who like kicks ass after getting her ass.
We also
kicked.
know it's not. It's not anything. It's not a horror movie. It's not a slasher movie. It doesn't have to follow any protocol because it's its own thing.
Yeah.
So can we make that the problem?
Yeah.
Although
that was worst production though, so we can't do that.
The worst production.
All right. Product placement, like explicit. Product placement.
Yes.
Because
all right.
Because I don't mind.
We've done it before though.
I don't mind product placement. Like 28 days later, for example, when he's like all like, I got a headache, I got nothing but sugar. You can have Pepsi or something else. Like,
I've got it.
It's okay. I was in the middle of a train of thought, but go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, and 28 days later, it makes sense because the world has crumbled, but like these corporate logos endure, and like that's kind of depressing, and like it makes sense, like because people will talk, like, oh, there's Pepsi or like Mountain Dew. Okay, that's all you got. Those are your options. Like it makes sense to me. But like in this,
I agree, and that's why we're going to call it Trouser ham-fisted advertisement.
I like it.
Okay.
All right. So what's worse, Trouser ham-fisted advertisement?
Yeah.
Or butt
that's what we said.
Biscuits.
Yes. And we think it's the trousers. Thing.
That's we all do. We do.
Yeah.
We're trouser hamming. Okay. You know what that means? Timecut is the worst movie of the season. And you know what? I would rather watch The Fanatic because it's funnier to me.
100 times over.
It's funnier. Yeah.
Can't talk, have to poo. Like, iconic.
Next week, Bob, I'm going to let you take this little mini segment away. What are we doing next week and why?
We're doing a movie that I never heard of, but it's not that old. It's called A Talking Cat. It has like the punctuation and everything. And my brother Dave recommended it. Some of you remember him from the Willy Millie episode.
Willy Millie, yeah.
And he said, "You really got to see this. I saw it on Riff Tracks or something, one of those things." And he said, "It's so bad, you're not going to believe how bad it is." I'm like, "So that sounds perfect for us." And my brother and I are taking a road trip to Florida the morning after we record this next week. So we're going to record, go to bed, wake up, drive south.
All right.
And then, so after the Dave episode, we'll have a Nashville episode where me and Rob will be in the same city, possibly the same room at the same time. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
We'll both be in the past.
And then
I'm going to go northeast to New Haven area to meet up with Chris and his patient family.
Which it's not as cool sounding a city as Nashville, but it's Milford, Connecticut. You'll see Milford.
I've been told I have to see Yale because I'm there, but I don't know.
Okay, hey, I mean, it's cool. Yale's cool. Yeah. So
I'm not super interested. Someone just said that was a recommendation. I'm like, maybe.
If you're gonna go past Yale, if you like falafel, go to Mamoon's. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, Mamoon's I've heard is dope. I've actually
get some mango juice.
You should probably
get some falafel.
You should probably get some New Haven style pizza because it's like world renowned at this point.
It is, I know, but gluten free.
Gluten free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it makes it difficult.
I ruin everybody's good time.
That's all right. I'll give you the cheese. I'll eat the dough. We'll make it work.
Well, you remember Chad Smith, right? Chad Smith would always, every time we went to take out for like a special day out, he'd be like, "Oh, I don't want to get behind special order Bob."
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, actually, that's why Mamoon's is a great choice, though, Rob. Good call.
Yeah, falafel. Yeah,
we'll give him some falafel. Yeah. All right, so that's the schedule.
So that's what we're doing.
Very much forward to that. So, Rob, why don't you plug us and send it back to Bob for his last word?
Yeah. we're running a little long. So, guys, www.theworstmovieevermade.com. Go there, find us there. There's goodies, there's baddies, there's good baddies, there's bad goodies, there's very good bad boys, there's very bad good boys. www.theworstmovieevermade.com. Find us there, or we'll find you. Bob?
It's going to sound like Chris goaded me again, but I had this picked out way before he said it. Trouser hams.
Nice. All right. Next week, a talking cat, which AV Club called utterly irredeemable trash. So,
Don't do me.
Awesome. We'll see you next week, and we'll see Dave next week. So thank you, Shay. Thank you, Shmaze. Bye, Jelly School.
Chris is in freeze frame.
All right, bye, Jelly School.